Hey! Okay, today we're going to talk about finding the central message of things. We covered this a little bit in the first week whenever we talked about the questions. So what is the central message? I'll give you a hint. We worked on it a little bit whenever we read The Woodman and Mercury, or Mercury and the Woodman, whatever it was called, something like that. And asked you what the moral was. Does that give you a hint? Okay. So the central message is the theme, moral, or life lesson the author wants you to learn from the story. So if you think back to when we did Mercury and the Woodman, and we talked about the moral from the story was honesty, that's what we're talking about today. That was the central message. The central message of that story that the author wanted us to learn about was honesty. So when we're looking for the main idea, we're looking for the big idea. So what is this main idea that the author wants us to have? So some big ideas, some common topics of those would be things like courage, dreams, kindness, being yourself, hope, love, family, hard work, never giving up, or peace. So when you're trying to figure out what the big idea is, I want you to ask yourself these questions, okay? What did the characters learn? How did the characters grow or change? Why did the characters act this way? Notice those are some of our questions. What, how, and why. So we're going to practice a little bit. So I'm going to read you this story. Let me move my face down a little bit. Okay, so once there was a mean little boy who lived in a small village. This mean little boy loved to mess with people. So one day he ran up to a sheep herder and shouted, "Wolf, wolf! A wolf is attacking the town!" The sheep herder grabbed his staff and ran to defend the town, but realized he had been fooled when the boy started pointing and laughing at him. "Ha ha! I made you jump," said the boy. Then the boy ran up to a farmer and shouted, "Wolf, wolf! A wolf is attacking the town!" The farmer grabbed his pitchfork and ran to defend the town. But when the boy started pointing and laughing at him, he realized he had been tricked. As the boy went back to his family's farm laughing about the funny trick he played, he saw a real wolf in his father's chicken coop. As the wolf ate all of his father's chickens, the boy screamed over and over again, "Wolf, wolf, please help us!" But nobody came to help him. It's kind of a sad story, huh? Alright, so if you think about it, and think about those questions. I wrote them down so I could remember them. So, what did the characters learn? How did the characters grow or change? Or why did the characters act this way? So think about that little boy. What do you think he learned from this? I think the biggest thing he learned was not to play tricks on people. And to only ask for help when you actually need it. So, because if he hadn't tried to be fooling everybody, then they would have come and helped him whenever he actually needed the help. It's a tough lesson to learn, the way he did it. But hopefully these stories will help teach you these lessons so then you don't have to experience what they experienced. So let's move on to the next one. I keep having to move my face. Oh, no, we're good. Okay, cool. All right. Angie loved to draw. She made colorful designs of people's names with bright hearts and flowers. But she lost... Oh, dear. I mistyped that. But she lost her markers. So she borrowed her teacher's. The school day was ending, but Angie wanted to keep coloring. So she took the teacher's markers home and lost them in her messy room. She came back to school the next day and wanted to color again. So she asked the teacher for more markers. The teacher replied, "Sure, Angie, but this is my last pack." Angie said she would be careful, but by the end of the day, The markers were scattered all over the floor, and the custodian swept them up and disposed of them. When Angie came in the next day, she asked the teacher for more markers, but she was disappointed to find that there weren't any more. "I don't know where all of my markers went," said the teacher. "But I don't have them." Angie had to draw her pictures with boring pencils. Okay, so think of the questions that I told you to think about, remember? What did the characters learn? How did the characters grow or change? Or why did the characters act this way? So, how do you think Angie grew or changed? Do you think she learned something from this? Maybe it could be that she learned to take care of other people's stuff. I think that would be good. Good for her to learn. Lost my cursor. There I am. So take care of other people's stuff is what I came up with. Now remember, these are what I came up with. But you might have learned a different lesson from this story. So, and that is fine. They don't have to be the same. People take different morals, different big pictures from different stories. So this is what I took from the story. But what you took from the story could have been completely different. So now I want you to go to this link right here. I'm going to put it in the description below. And I want you to read One Rice, 1,000 Gold. It's an old Chinese fable. Okay, so go ahead and pause this video and then go to the link. Okay, welcome back. I hope you liked it. So now I want you to grab a piece of paper and a pencil. And I guess that wasn't really a video, was it? It was more of a story. But it's a digital story. It felt like a video. Anyways, so grab your piece of paper and pencil. And I want you to write what you see here. Right? I know the moral is blank. So write down what you think the moral is. Because the text says, and then here I want you to write what it was that the text said in the book that made you think that this was the moral, okay? So go ahead and pause this video and write it up. Okay, welcome back. Did you come up with something? Okay, I'm going to show you what I came up with. Are you ready? So this is what I came up with. Now remember, yours could be different. You may have gotten a completely different answer than me, and that is okay because everyone has different lives and learn different ways. So, I know the moral is be kind because the text says you've already paid me back by becoming a strong and kind man. So that's what I came up with. If you came up with something different, go ahead and write it in the comments because I'd love to see what it is. So now it's your turn to do this on your own. So your assignment is to go to this link down here. It's PBS Kids. It's Between the Lions. And you can pick out any of these stories. There's King Midas, The Emperor's New Clothes, The Three Little Pigs, The Lion and the Mouse, The Ants and the Grasshopper, Oh, Yes It Can. Okay, so pick out one of those 6. I want you to watch it. And then I want you to go to your notebooking packet and do the activity. Okay, so it's pretty similar to what we just did. You're just going to do it all on your own. So good luck, have fun, and I will see you next week.